Preaching.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your host, Miss Kiki White, with Women Around the Table Talk. I hope everyone is having a terrific Tuesday. I know I am. Pardon me. Go ahead and start that. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, I'm just gonna y'all know how I like to do. I just like to just delve into my stuff, and I want to say again, welcome to everybody. Hope everybody is just sitting down, you're relaxing, your mind is clear, you're ready to get entertained, or whatever the case may be. But thank you all for just viewing on tonight for Women Around the Table Talk Show. Your host, Miss Kiki White. So, let me go ahead and begin and just let you all know that this month, the month of June 2023, will be the month for Testimony Tuesday. And the reason why I chose to title it Testimony Tuesday because everybody has a story. Some of you are still writing stories, and some of you are still um, some of you are still getting the gifs of putting your story together, such as myself, and bringing it to a halt. So, the reason why I wanted to go ahead with a testimony Tuesday is because a lot of people have a lot of things that they want to say, and but then there are a lot of people who don't want to say it, but would have you to be their voice for them. So that's pretty much what I'm going to just dive into. There are different things that I want to do this month, but I do definitely want to call this one your testimony Tuesday. Last month we were privileged with Women Around the Table Talk to have our theme as excuse me, is this seat taken? So we invited our men to come to the round table and to give their thoughts. And we had Mr. Troy, we had Jason Dixon, Mr. Marlon White, we had Kendrick Hobbs, and these were different age men, and none other than LaTerrence Dunbar. They all have beautiful backgrounds. These are men of God that I was able to encounter throughout, different parts of my life or what have you. And anyway, we just brought them on the show. They gave their insights on what they what they want and what they are attracted to, as far as, and what men are really looking for when it comes to the single women. They really wanted a woman of God. They wanted a natural woman. We were talking about, just different things that would highlight the attributes of a woman, whether it's natural beauty or the makeup, or just, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So if you guys have not watched those episodes, please go back to EEFInetworks.com, and you can tap on to, I believe it is videos or something, or on demand videos or something like that. But anyway, it will navigate you to all of the past episodes for Women Around the Table Talk that I have been able to encounter different testimonies from these individuals, not just the men, but this has been a beautiful start. I think this marks 2 months, 60 days into the EEFI network family, and I am just so honored to be a part of their platform to share with you different people that have different accomplishments and different goals and different testimonies, and they have different stories or what have you. I am just so privileged. I really am. There is so much more to come. I am happy to announce that I will be launching my baby, my brand, my vision, my story. Help or hush. Let that sink in. Help or hush while I heal. And I have been invited to do an interview to introduce Help or Hush. But before I could do that, I just want to launch it, give my testimony because I'm in the middle of finishing my book, Help or Hush, while I heal. And and I just want you guys to tune in to the story that I'm about to tell you. I'm not going to have any guests tonight. I decided not to have any guests tonight. And the reason being is because I didn't want any any interception with the testimony that I have. And it's a big one. You would look at me and think, oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, she's so cute. She got it going on. She's so cool. Okay, yeah. That's because after the storm, after the storm and after the rain, the sun shines or what have you. But anyway, let me just go ahead and tell you this. I want you guys to go ahead and get your coffee, your popcorn, your soda, whatever you need to do, and just listen because this one is pretty good. And when I think about my story, it was really the Holy Spirit that had to help me, really had to help me. And you know how the Bible says, for some of us Bible readers, the Holy Spirit says that the Bible says that the Holy Spirit will bring back to your memory things that you need to be reminded of, or ways to be led, or what have you. And so I am a woman of God, and I try to live my life. I try to live my life as holy as I can. Now, I haven't been that way always. Okay, don't get me wrong, because she used to, be out there, not too far out there, but I was out there far enough to see what was going on in the streets. Okay, but anyway, the reason why my personality is the way it is, and tonight's show is just a little bit about Kiki. It's Kiki's testimony. It's Kiki's story. It's my story. And so there's a beautiful finish to it, but the beginning is not so beautiful. And I'll start. Here we go. So when I was a young child, and let me say this first of all. For those of you that are just now tuning in, because I see a lot of people coming in, just know that I don't have any guests tonight, but I will be giving my testimony. I'll be giving my story to let you know how I got here. And so tonight is going to be very special. It's all about me. You get a whole 50 more minutes with me. Okay? But anyway, I haven't always been so bubbly. I wasn't always the one that would be smiling all the time. Not all throughout my life, but from beginning to now, I could say I still have that same smile. You get what I'm saying? Okay, good. Okay, so the story goes like this. So when I was a young child, about the age of 5 or 6, I remember something tragic happened to me. And, well, first of all, it goes way before that. So as I got older, I asked my mom, I said, Mom, tell me a little bit about my childhood, because some things I do remember and some things that I don't remember. And I just want to kind of know, what kind of happened to me, when I was growing up or what have you. So Mom says, well, when you were a baby, you broke your arm. I broke this arm. This arm does look different from that arm, but oh well. Can't tell. God heals. So anyway, she told me that I had broke my arm. I don't know. I can't remember if I fell out the crib or somebody picked me up and dropped me, but either way it go, I had a broken arm when I was a baby. And bless God, it healed. Then at the age of 5, I remember, and I shared with my viewers, I shared when I first came on, and I had an interview with the lady before me, the great Pamela. And I shared how I experienced this lady. She was my babysitter of some sort, or yeah, she was my mom's hired babysitter or whatever. She always kept us or whatnot. And how she just, took my face and she put my face in her vagina and she just smothered me all in there in the dark places. And I remember it because it it traumatized me in such a way to where I remember it now. And I didn't let it affect me though. So then here comes the age of, let's see, about 6 or 7 or 8. I'm growing up. I grew up in church. I grew up in Texas all my life, and I grew up in church. And as young as I can remember, I may have been the age of 3, could barely pronounce words, and they put me in with a microphone in my hand, and I'm singing praises to the Lord. And so mind you, I'm just growing up with a church background. My grandmother, I remember her, the late Florence Henderson, and she was a piano player and loved the Lord. My granddad, he was a man of few words, but when he spoke, oh my gosh, it's like the walls trembled. And you're gonna listen if my granddaddy Sylvester had something to say, and that's on my mother's side. She had, I think my mom had been married. This was her second marriage. By then, she didn't stay with my dad. Her and my dad split, but my mom, she ended up, marrying this man. He's deceased now, and I remember my brother and I in a room, and she closed the door because he hit her, and so there was physical abuse that my mom experienced. And I remember standing there crying, and she told me and my brother to get back, and she shut the door. And I remember that, but I know my mom is strong. And I have to say, I thank God for her. I thank her for her strength. I thank God for, wow, she's still alive to this day because she didn't stay with him. He later passed, and my mom, she got out of that situation. She was strong enough to get out of that situation. But mind you, I'm remembering this, and here it is years later. I still remember it. And then she probably later on met another guy and married him. So it's not like I never had a bonus dad in the house. I did. I had a bonus dad in the house. And but that don't mean that bonus dad was always a bonus. Okay. But anyway, she married another guy. And so I'm going throughout my lifespan, and I'm different, I'm experiencing different things. I remember in elementary school, all throughout my elementary, I was always kind of, I was on a little healthy side. I was just a little, just a little potato. I was just a little potato and round and things or what have you. And I got teased a lot. I got bullied a lot. I got teased a lot. They used to call me fat girl, Tasmania devil. They used to call me Big Mix. It's not like I was just super swole, but from a young age, now I'm in, what, 6th grade elementary, and I got these kids talking about me. All the girls was always jealous, but they were just talking about me, calling me fat this and fat that, and I had very, very, very long hair, and maybe they were jealous about that. I don't even know. But anyway, they talked about my weight, and even the teachers would do the same thing, And I used to always keep a smile through it all, and so much so I kept a smile up until 5th grade, and they gave me a nickname, and my nickname was Happy, y'all. They gave me the nickname Happy because Coach Brotherton was his name. He said that every time he see me, every time I see you, you always smiling, and I thought it was a good thing. But obviously it wasn't, because that name followed me everywhere I went. Okay, so anyway, so the kids were bullying me, and and I'm getting talked about, and all of this stuff is going on. I experienced my first car wreck with my mom, and I was drinking my orange juice, and my honey bun had got squished, and I don't know why I remember my honey bun getting squished, and I think it was very sad not understanding what had just happened. But and I know it's funny, but that's what happened. And anyway, so that was the first car wreck I had with my mom. And but growing up with her, she always showed me her strength. My mom was never one that would hug you and kiss on you and just love you and "Mwah, my baby," just really show too much of that affection. She wasn't that type of woman, but I became that kind of woman. Maybe I got that from dad. So thanks, dad, if you're watching. But anyway, so I'm going through life and I'm experiencing childhood trauma. Then from childhood trauma, then I began to experience something that was really weird. I think I was about maybe 10 or 11. I had this favorite cat. And I, so not funny, but I had this favorite cat and I abused the cat. There was like animal cruelty. And so I abused this particular cat, not knowing what I was doing, not knowing why. And after I did it, I felt bad. But I knew that I really just didn't like my mom's ex. So, I mean, not her ex, but I didn't like her current, spouse at the time. And I never did get a chance to tell my mom everything that I was experiencing all the time because she was always working, trying to take care of us. Sometimes we would experience moments of single being raised in a single parent home or what have you, but she always did a great job with us, and so when after going to middle school, dealing with that, here I'm getting ready to go to high school. So after all that time that them these people were talking about me, and they were calling me fat. Little did they know I had to walk up the hill to the elementary school. So I had to walk up the hill to the elementary school, and it did me a great deal because by the summer I had lost weight. Okay, so I lost weight, and here it is my freshman year, and I lost a lot of weight. Started getting a little bit of attention, and from the guys. The guys was giving me a little bit of attention or whatever, and I paid attention, but I didn't pay attention because, mind you, I'm still singing, I'm still in church, experiencing all of this stuff. My cousins even used to call me sensitive, and my cousins used to even talk about me. Nobody really understood why I used to hide under the table and be to myself. Nobody really understood why I was okay being in a quiet corner by myself. I never had the strength to tell my mom what happened or what I had experienced, of course, until I got older. And just to throw this in, today I was watching, and I know, yeah, they say I can sing like a bird. Well, tell Lord thank you. But I know that God had given me a gift to sing. And it started out at a young age, and a lot of people would pull on me. Can you sing this? Can you sing that? And I'm in church and I'm singing and or whatever. And I remember my grandma passing, and my grandma right before the day before she passed, she asked me to sing, and I was like, "No, grandma, I really don't want to sing." And I regretted the fact that I had to sing at her funeral now that she's dead and gone, and I mean tore it up too. But that pretty much stuck with me, and I called myself going through just going through this little quiet spell to where I kept that, and I took that and I balled that up in my heart, or I buried it within. Let's say I buried it within. Then I would experience seeing all the pretty girl. I have some beautiful cousins. We all have a line of beauty, but these girls are gorgeous, and they would get all the attention, because they look Puerto Rican. I know they look Latino, and we looking Puerto Rican, but they looking like Latinos or whatever. Anyway, and they was getting attention, and I was still kind of plump, but the thin girls was in then. You know what I'm saying? And so the thick girls weren't really getting that much attention. If it was a sign of fat, we was just fat, period. And that's just what that was. But And I would compare myself to them a lot. I would compare myself. So then I noticed I started going through this identity thing, this like an identity crisis, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand what I was going through. So here it is in high school. Hold on, let me rewind. What's that? Seventh and eighth grade. That's middle school. So middle school is when I kind of started getting noticed by the boys, and I gravitated to their attention. Oh, she's cute, and oh, she got a pretty face, and of course, I gravitated to it, but I did it in the wrong way. And what I mean by that is now I'm trying to get attention. Now I'm talking a certain way, or I knew how to use my eyes. Now my eyes are, I can't help my eyes, but I knew how to use them to get somebody's attention, and or a boy to look at me or something like that. But I was too scared because I had this big brother. My brother was a gangster. My brother didn't play. Therefore, I couldn't really talk to nobody. And he would not let me talk to none of his homeboys once I got all, cute and toned up or what have you. So that was one thing. It's like, come on, man, cut a sister a break type thing. But my brother was very protective of me. And I'm glad that he was. Now that I think about it, I really am. I'm really glad that my brother was protective of me. But anyway, so I'm going through all of this stuff, and let me rewind. And then I think it was in my seventh or eighth grade. There was a family member. There was a family member, male family member that molested me, and told me if I told anybody, he said, if you tell anybody, you're going to split this family up, and probably something else that was so traumatizing to where I took that and I bottled that within me. Okay? So here it is. Get my arm broke. Some girl put my face in between her legs at a young age. I'm getting talked about. I'm getting bullied. The teachers are talking about me. I'm not understanding who I am. Shy to talk to people. I remember one teacher in elementary school, she was so mad at me. And I didn't like to go before people. I didn't like to speak before people. I didn't want to be around people because it seemed to me at this particular time, that time frame that I'm growing up, that I didn't like people, and people always hurt me, or people always talked about me, and they always made me feel as if I was nothing, and I'm going to church, and you would think that I was okay, or I could have a heart to forgive them, or it was easy to deal with. But it wasn't, because I'm still in an innocent stage. And that teacher was so mad at me, and she just took her nail and she was trying, you need to read this passage right here. They teased me. They thought I couldn't read. She scratched my paper with her nail so hard that she left a line on the paper. Really. And yeah, her name was Miss Jefferson. I know she dead and gone now, but she didn't like me. So some of y'all that's watching and knows me probably know. But anyway, it gets even more horrible for me as I continue to grow up. So I'm in high school now, after going through that, trying to get boys' attention, and junior high, and the girls just jealous of me for what, and I didn't want people to be that way towards me, but they were. So I still would try to be nice, and I wouldn't talk about nobody, because I learned in elementary, that he say, she say stuff that don't work, and I messed that up and lost my best friend. So I learned about he say, she say in elementary, and I never became one of those that would be like, girl, you know what, and such told me, and you remember when type. No, that wasn't Keitra. So I was learning, and while I was experiencing, to me, which was a life of horror. My brother left the house at age 17 and when my brother left, that's when all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. My bonus dad used to stand in the doorway. What he would be doing in my mother's muumuu, in her gown, I don't know. But like, mind you, I told you my hair was so long, it covered my face, and he would stand there sometimes, and I don't know, I didn't know then what he was doing with his hands, because you can't really see in the dark, but he stood there long enough for me to be, my heart is beating, my heart is pounding, and let me see, I'm 3 years apart from my brother, so I'm like 14, and my heart is pounding. I don't know what this man's gonna do to me, but I just know he's just standing there, and he stood there for so long that I just watched him in horror and fear. Never did touch me. However, he did do things that made my sister and I uncomfortable by exposing his body parts to us. And maybe he just wanted us to see what we would do. Maybe he just wanted to see what the reaction was. And when I would tell my mom, or my mom like, "Oh girl, he said he didn't even know and he's sorry," or he would give her this excuse, and I was like, "Well, he watching me." Well, he told her, "Oh, I'm just making sure they breathing, and I'm making sure everybody okay. I get up in the middle of the night to make sure I'm protecting my house." But I knew that wasn't the case. I knew it was something to that. But I knew that I grew up in church, and I knew that if I prayed hard enough, I could call on the name of the Lord and he could protect me. And so I would do that for me and my sister. And this went on all throughout high school. My high school friends didn't even know that there's this big grown man rubbing my hair and, just caressing me, making it seem as if it's innocent, but it's not. And that it was okay, but it's not. And so it began, that caress reminded me of when I was 5, when I was 7, when I was 10. And so I'm shutting down even more because my mom, she believed her husband over me at that time. And I'm like, man, I want to tell somebody, but I can't. I don't have any proof. We don't have cameras in the house. I tried to tell my mom. So guess what I did? I shut down. I got quiet. So that was pretty much my introduction, like for live pornography, to see an old grown body part that I wasn't supposed to see, that didn't belong to me. And I made up in my mind, I said, you know what, when I graduate, I'm going to pray for my dad. I want to pray for my dad back in my life. Because my brother was gone, and my brother never knew what was going on, and I knew he was a gangster. My brother would have, him and his crew, if I would have told him, I remembered what my cousin said. You're going to break the family up. If you say something, you're going to cause, you're going to be the one. They're going to blame you. It's going to be your fault that we don't have a family. All these lies that the devil was using different people to tell me. You understand what I'm saying? And so I went through this. And when by the age of 17, my protection is gone. I give up my virginity and I give it to a young man that, what? I bless God that I still know who he is. We are good friends. That's the only good thing that I can think about it as far as that is concerned. And he actually apologized to me. And I said, he actually apologized to me some time ago. And he was like, I was this person, I was that, I was promiscuous and or whatever. And God allowed this man to find me and apologize. That in itself told me that God must really love me. And he's really trying to show me, because who am I? I mean, can't too many people say that they would, see the guy that they gave their virginity to and that he would apologize for his actions, but he did. And so, excuse me. So with that, that's the testimony all by itself. But so I'm 17, I'm in high school, I'm going through this, just trying to fit in still, still trying to smile through it all. Through it all, I'm still trying to smile. Trying to be the big sister, and all throughout, and even to be in a household where my little sister, boy, that thing could fight. My little sister could fight just like her dad. Just like her dad that used to fight on my mom. So now her blood is inside of her from her dad, and now she's fighting me. Me and my sister fought for I don't know how long, oh my God, we must have fought pretty much all my upcoming. We just never, my half sister and I never really got along in that matter. But I was always able to put on a mask, y'all. Oh my gosh. Greetings to you too. I was always just, I smile it and not knowing that I'm just packing all of this stuff that's happening to me. I think that I can't remember, but I think that when I gave my life to Christ and I got saved, I really believe that He took all of that away. The memory was still there, though. The memory was still there, but it wasn't as effective. So I was able to heal, not knowing that the healing process was sustaining me, maybe, because I was still able to smile above it all, you know? And so my last year of high school, I ended up running away to my homeboy house. I ran away to my homeboy house, and and that's when I lost my grandmother. That's when my grandmother passed, was when, in my last year of high school. And he said, Key, why you doing this? I said, because I don't think my mom loves me. I need to see what she gonna do. I need to see if my mama love me. And I saw what she was doing. She even came to his house because she knew that that was my best friend, him and his sisters. And they protected me. They kept me. Um, and they honored what I said. And I was like, I guess she do love me, huh? But it still, to me, wasn't enough. It was not enough. And so I ended up going back home. She was like, girl, you could have ran out, man. You could have ran away a better way because you left the lamp on and you know I'm going to get up in the middle of the night. So she had to turn the lamp off, realizing I was gone. And boom, maybe I would have got away with it or what have you, but I didn't. So anyway, I still didn't get that, oh, yeah, I'm so glad that I found you, or, that love, that embrace, that physical embrace, because my mom just wasn't that. She showed her love by feeding the sister, or maybe buying me something that I wanted. Maybe y'all can attest to that. I don't know. But these are things that I'm just experiencing, and it gets even more worse. So now that I've graduated, I go to high school, get involved with a guy. And I wanted him to be protective for me because he wasn't thug enough or, to me, masculine enough for me. Or he just, I wanted him to protect me. I did not know it until later. And, but I wanted him to protect me in a way to where I wouldn't get hurt anymore. Or, because I did not feel safe for some reason, even being with a guy that became my fiance. So I sabotaged it. I sabotaged it. And I just wanted to see his reaction, just like I did my mom. I wanted to see if they love me. Now, after doing this, just going on, after doing that and sabotaging, it took me 3 years to get over this man. And his friends made sure that I didn't get a second chance. Oh, them girls. Oh, they made sure that I didn't get to say I'm sorry or show my remorse. Y'all just don't know. But anyway, so it took me 3 years. And mind you, I'm still in church. I'm still praising the Lord, doing this thing the best way that I can. And I'm sure that I was praying, y'all. I really do. I'm pretty sure I was trying to keep it up, or what have you. And there would be different prophecies and different things that would go forth about them telling me that, your gift gonna make room for you because you can sing. But I never felt like I had the ability to sing to where people would like the way I sound. Because I didn't sound like Kim Burrell. Or I didn't have a sound that was so hard that, that will make people, and I'm running and riffing all over the place and, or I didn't have a particular sound that, my sound is different. Like Silky Smooth, Angie Stone, Anita Wilson, CC Winers, Anita Baker. Put it all in that category. I fit in with them. They're my sisters and cousins and over there. They don't even know it though. But so anyway, And I didn't get the support that I thought that I needed from my mom because I just didn't feel like I could sing, and I didn't feel any worth. So, with that going on, let's see. Now I'm in my 20s and I'm praying my dad back into my life. And my dad, I'm living with my dad. I'm learning who I am, through him. And he's showing me different things. And I'm still, supporting his church. And, I'm still singing. And, my brother's back into my life. And, all of this is going on. And then, boom, I meet this guy. And he tries to rape me. And do I still have a mark? I think I said, you know what? It done faded away. Praise the Lord. But anyway, and my dad had nails that would stick out like on his chimney. And I was trying to get away from him. And I scratched my arm. And when the blood started draining, that's when he took off. I guess it took him to see the blood. Hello. Uh, in order to run away or whatever. And I kind of decided, that I wasn't going to I just was gonna chill out for a while because I didn't have any problems after high school of having attracting men to me. I didn't have those type of problems. But when I got to my 20s, it got even more worse. I started having car wrecks. I would get hit head on, a head on collision off of 35, and knocked over into the whole different parking lot. And I survived that. And I'm still in my 20s. I'm going to college and I'm working. And then I meet this man and I marry him. I married this man and he became the father of all four of my children. In that marriage, I experienced everything that you can think that was dark. Um, so I brought all of those issues into that marriage. I didn't really, I wasn't me. I wasn't the wife that I knew I could be, that I knew I was deep down inside, because he had his own demons. And so he had his own issues. But when I would see him go through his issues, I wasn't strong enough to cover him. I wasn't strong enough to pray for him. I wasn't strong enough to forgive him. He pretty much reminded me of my past. He did everything that I thought to hurt me and to take my identity away. And I divorced him. Divorced 6 months into the marriage. Divorce. We young, but I was young, y'all. So Lord, I was like 21, 22 when I got married. I married this man, and then turned around and married him again. Gave him a second chance. I married him again. We on our second marriage, and it was like a cycle. It was a repeat. Okay, and I got out of it. Got out of that marriage, and I took my kids and I began to raise them to the best of my ability. So not only at this point had I dealt with childhood trauma, animal cruelty, pornography, rape, physical, physical abuse. It was betrayal, and then here comes, y'all know what this month is? Pride Month. So during the course of oh yeah, I'm gonna be transparent because I'm freeing myself, and this is what Help or Hush is all about. So for those of you that are tuning in, I'm giving my testimony about myself, and why I decided to launch, and why God gave me Help or Hush while I heal. So I had an experience with a woman, and she came on to me right after my divorce and just filled my mind and filled my brain up with lies. And I couldn't go on in that moment because there was only one encounter. I couldn't go on in that moment because it reminded me of when I was 5 years old. I was like, "Ooh, this ain't right." So I decided in that moment, oh, Kiki not gonna be gay. I can't be gay. I can't. That's just not part of my character. That's not what I want to do. And at some point or another, I realized, man, who am I that the devil Now I'm starting to realize the hand of the enemy. Now I'm starting to realize that this has been going on for too long. Now I'm starting to realize, you know what? Something ain't right. If my life ain't right, let me go back. Excuse me. Let me go back and let me get it right. Because this is too much trauma in my life. When am I going to ever experience real love? When am I ever going to stop getting talked about? And you know, even throughout this, even till today, you know, some people may call me bald headed because I cut my hair off, or I'm too, oh now she a little bit too thick for me, or you know, she just too transparent, or whatever the case may be. I'm used to it by now, but I know who I am, so it don't really bother me. And you're gonna get there. But anyway, so now here it is. I had that encounter with that, and and wasn't no way in the world. Oh, and it was a family member at that. So one, I could not do it, and I so after my second marriage, I'm now divorced again. I'm divorced again. By this time, I done had three car wrecks in the same month, but each year, each year, I can't say that they were the same time, but for 3 years straight, in the same month, I have a car wreck. Getting hit from behind. People like, what are you doing? You can't even drive. Or, you know, how is it that you get hit? I could be sitting at the light. I went through the last horrific, or before these last two car wrecks that I had in 2017. I was in a car, and I was in Oak Cliff, and I was trying to turn down the street, and everybody knew that Lancaster and Ledbetter, they knew that this light would turn really, 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 really fast. And so this light would turn really, really fast. And so I tried to drive through the light, and I got hit, because I'm trying to wait on the cars to go before me, and it was taking too long. So the car comes and hits me, and I flip and I turn, and I made the news. They didn't see my face, but I made the news. But all throughout that day, the devil was speaking to me. The devil was speaking to me. And he told me he was going to kill me. And so I made a phone call to my ex-sister-in-law, and I told her, I said, girl, I said, it's this big, loud, sound like a demonic voice telling me he's going to kill me. He's going to blow me up, because the house that I was staying in had a gas leak. He was going to blow me up. He was going to use the gun that belonged to my ex-husband and have my ex-husband shoot me. This is all in one day. And then finally, when all that stuff didn't work, because I was staying away from the house, I didn't want to get shot or blown up in that house. So I got in my car, and he said, I'm gonna kill you in this car today. And so I made a phone call, and I told her, I said, I think I hear demonic spirits. And you know, I think this thing told me it's trying to kill me. So in 2017, I flipped my car. When I got up out of that car, and I did not have a scratch on my body, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I was, true enough, I was traumatized, but I didn't say nothing to anybody. I didn't breathe. You couldn't even hear me breathing. But I did this. I looked at that car, and I looked at that spirit wherever it was. And I said, now I know who I am. You can't touch me. I knew in that instance I was a child of God. I knew I was. And I said, try me if you want to. Y'all better be careful when you trying to, charge the enemy. And so anyway, here we are. I'm on my way to 2023. Here I come. I'm in 2017, 18. Okay. And so I decide. So after I got myself well or whatever, and I got my kids, I'm taking care of my kids, I decided to go in a direction, because some way or somehow, while I was healing, I couldn't gain monetary value that I could take care of myself or whatever. But anyway, so I lost my kids, and no, I didn't lose them. Let me rewind. What happened was, I decided to move to Houston because things weren't going well as far as living situations. And this is right after the car wreck that I had got hit, and it flipped on me or whatever. I didn't have a lot of money to take care of them, but I was making a decision to make a transition to Houston. I was going to start over there, and I had gotten a new job or whatever. So on my way down to 45, I have my best friend. He was a male best friend of mine, and his cousin. and I won't give their names, but I wasn't able. Okay, so I'm going down 45, and we're together. We're riding together because he wanted to, he wanted to FaceTime his boo, and he wanted to kind of, spend time with her. Anyway, fed him some Popeye's chicken. We headed to Houston. We don't see him. He's not behind us with all of my stuff. He has everything. He has my couch. He has my pillows. He has my tissue. He has my Q-tips. He has my kids' shoes. He has everything in this truck. He did not make it to my apartment. We're waiting on him. We leave. We go try to find him. We couldn't find him. We get a phone call in the middle of the night. There's a fatality on Highway 45, and it involves such and such. And I said, oh my God. So they wouldn't let me go. We couldn't go down there because his bio was on everything that I own. That means that's his flesh. They had to gear his head out of the steering wheel, I heard. And I became so traumatized, I couldn't even drive down 45 anymore and go to attend his funeral. I couldn't even get behind a car. I was traumatized. And then everybody blamed me for it anyway. So here it is, another moment that the enemy is attacking me. I'm at my apartment, and I'm looking at my kids. They're on a throw. We had literally nothing. The church that I was attending to, I thought that this church was supposed to help me, that could have at least bought me a set of paper towels or a set of towels to bathe me and my kids. They didn't. And so I began to get quiet. And I didn't have the type of help that I thought that I would be able to get, because I just left my mother and my father. They weren't there for me before I even left to Houston. So it was like a big transition. So I'm like, okay, everybody's like, Keetra, I think you cursed. You done did something. You done said something about the Lord. You cursed. All this stuff that's happening. And I too did not understand. But while I was in Houston, I began to learn who I was. I began to get quiet. And all of that stuff that had happened, all of that stuff that was currently happening, was all coming. It was just overwhelming in my brain. I tried to work and go, to the job that I was promoted to. I couldn't even work on the job, so they fired me. They let me go. They said, do you have anything to say? I couldn't even speak. I mean, come on. I lost all my stuff. You would think these people had sympathy for me. Nope, they did not. Them Houstonians out there, they something else, y'all. They really are. But anyway, they didn't have that much for me to say. And, they didn't have any support for me. And so, to make a long story short, I lost that job. I couldn't take care of my kids. I was struggling to pay my rent. And I made a deal with my kid's dad, take them. So like Job, I lost everything. I lost my kids. I lost my job. Eventually lost my house. I lost the car. I lost the kids. I think I said that already. I lost my mind. I lost everything. In that moment, I could have made up my mind to go out there and be a thought. Even while I was in Houston, y'all, they broke into my car. And they had broken into it. That's when I was coming up, though. Yeah. So God had blessed me with some money. So I bought my daughter a car. And I'm glad I bought my daughter a car because she needed it more than I did. But, so I bought this car, and I'm trying to, pick myself up and get myself together and let the Lord just minister to me and heal me in this particular segment of my life. And one thing I always held on to was prayer. I always held on to prayer. I realized today, I was talking to my brother, and I realized today, I said, what does the number 5 mean? Because every time somebody tells a story about something traumatic that has happened in their life, it always happened when we're little. It's something whether we're introduced to pornography, somebody molest us, somebody hit us, somebody do something. It's always at the age of 5 or it's at the age of 6. I said, bro, it's something to this number. And he read to me what the number 5 was. He said, the number 5 means curiosity. It means change. It has a meaning of freedom and a symbol of balance. It's a symbol of balance. And it's also God's grace. But the first thing it says is curiosity. So 5 is when we start asking our parents all these questions. We become curious. So why wouldn't the enemy attack us at the age of 5? Why wouldn't he plant something so detrimental that as we grow, that this thing will grow with us and we become confused in our identity, confused in who we are, confused, and so we don't know that this thing is here. We know it's there, may have dealt with it, but we've buried it. And I realized that when I lost everything, oh my God, when I lost everything, I prayed and I said, if I've cursed myself, I forgive everybody in my past that's ever talked about me. I forgive everybody that's done me wrong. I'm sorry for every man that I slept with, all my little boyfriends that I call myself loving, and that was not love. Nope. I asked God to forgive me for everything. I needed a clean slate. I did not know what was going on, but I knew that the enemy was after Keitra. But I knew God had a covering and a call of my life because I was still alive after 4 car wrecks. Come on, who has 4 to 5 car wrecks within 5 years? That devil was on my trail. And what caliber of a woman you are? What kind of destiny do you have what message do you have to give to people that are on a dark path, that you can shed a light into somebody's life to let them know once they touch a love of Christ, there's no return from that. He will keep you and protect. I don't care how far you run. I don't care what it is that we go through in our childhood to now. And I'm going to tell you, parents that are looking at me, there's the number 5. If you have children that are 5 or your nieces, nephews, cover them, pray for them, love on them. When I tell you, don't let it go unnoticed, because this is a sensitive age. And so, while I was in Houston, God gave me help or hush. And out of everything that I've been through, the marriages, the betrayal, the talk about the bullying, the pornography, with I can keep saying pornography, but the childhood trauma, all of these things that I went through, I survived it all. And I thank God for my mom, because my mom, my mom was actually able to keep me in church. And I think that's where the covering came from. I had a praying grandmother and a mother that knew how to pray. I did. My dad was a pastor too, but they knew how to pray. And so I had that foundation. Lucky me. But for some of you all that didn't have that foundation, there are people like myself that have went through things, and we have paved the way for y'all. I done paid the price for some things to get to where I am now. So I know that I have a story. I know that I have a testimony. I know that I am sitting here after being hit, and my spine could have been knocked out of place. I could have been paralyzed, totaling all my cars, and I'm like, Lord, if this is your way of blessing me financially, I don't want it. So when I got this last car wreck that I had, I spoke to my car. The car that I got now, I said, I won't wreck you, and nobody else is going to wreck you. I learned how to decree and declare some things. You understand what I'm saying? I learned how to decree and declare what it is that I wanted. I knew how to orchestrate my atmosphere, because I realized that if I'm not dead by now, I know good and well God has a plan for my life. I know that I have a story that can reach somebody, that can let a female know, girl, you can go through this, or you can get through this, because I went through it. I went through a lot for I don't know who and how many people. That's why I tell the men that I encounter, you can look at a beautiful woman all that you want to, but be careful and be very wise as to how you deal with her, because you don't know what she went through, and she vice versa. We don't know what you men went through. It could be men from molestation, but one thing that I do know is that there is a thing that exists from our childhood, and even though that we can't see it, this thing hovers over us, and all of these experiences that we're burying, all of these things that we're going through in our lives, that we have had child trauma. I'm that one to dig up the past, to tell you, hey, you know that picture that you keep seeing that you don't talk about from when you was 8 or from when you was 5, you need to deal with it, because we keep burying stuff that we have not funeralized yet. And so it wasn't until I funeralized everything, I called it out. You spirit of molestation, you spirit of confusion. I had to call these things out that I experienced so that I could give announcement that I'm getting ready to bury you. You don't funeralize anything until you announce its death. Period. Other than that, it's going to stay there. It's going to stay there. And so if you're going through something, then we got people like myself that are transparent. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I did some things. I sure did, and I ain't proud of it, but I kind of understand why. Maybe if I had the love, because one thing I realized today, people, and I know that people talking about Pride Month, this and that and the other, but you know what? When we grab a hold of a love, when we fall in love with somebody, it's the most beautiful thing. Whenever somebody is in love with someone, they don't want to let them go. I fell in love with Christ. I even watched old people fall in love with each other, and they be with each other, and when one go, the other one check out. That's how strong of a love that they have in a bond. That's the same way it is with Jesus, our Christ, our Lord. Once you get a hold of his love, and he's not condemning you for your sin, all he's saying is just come here, come spend some time with me. Come pray. Come talk to me. Tell me what's going on. We're not here to condemn you in your sin. We're not here to condemn you in your error as people of God. These things that we went through, it's all you know what? It's all about love. Period. Anything that we're going to do in this hour is going to be about love in order for us to reach the next generation. And so what I realized is once I gave God all of that stuff that I went through, and I gravitated to his love, that's the reason why I'm by myself to this day, because he has fulfilled me in such a way that I feel like I don't need a man. He has fulfilled me in such a way. That's a love that I don't want to let go. I mean, come on, people. Y'all know how it feels when you in love with somebody. And that's where I am. And that's why I'm going to help. I'm going to launch Help or Hush at the end of June. I'm going to launch it. It's my baby. He gave me help or hush while I heal. You can help me, and if you can't help me, then hush. Hush by praying. Don't put your mouth on me. Don't say nothing. But I'm trying to heal. So there, even the Bible gives us scripture, and I'll tell you that next time because I only got 2 minutes on my show. So I got to end this up. But I wanted to be transparent and tell you that just because you okay, I just got word from the TV broadcast, honey, that I could go just a little bit further. So good. Let me slow this train down, huh? Okay. I realized that once I grabbed a hold to Jesus himself, when I was in that room by myself, y'all, and I lost my mind and I felt like I couldn't drive no more, I knew that that was the plan of the enemy because he wanted to isolate me and wanted to cause depression, but I didn't know what depression was. I just knew I didn't want to stay in it because I was missing meals. And for those of you that know me, y'all know I love a good meal. Praise the Lord. I love to eat. Thank the Lord for food and the shelves. But anyway, so I was in a position. To receive all of that darkness in my life and keep it there and keep it buried. You understand what I'm saying? But God began to develop me. And he began to let me know that not only am I going to heal you, not only am I going to restore you, not only am I going to fulfill you, I'm going to give you your identity. You smiled throughout your life for a reason. Your personality was like this for a reason. And if the enemy sees you and he sees that you got all of this stuff inside of you that God can use, he sees all of these, he sees stuff that we can't see. Even God sees stuff and knows things that we can't fathom, that we cannot see. Period, point blank. Don't get me wrong. But we go through all of this rejection, no father figure. You become this visual outer appearance of a thing that you think that people despise, and you can't even look at your own self in the mirror. Sometimes we can't even look at our own self in the mirror, but you become all of the things because of what you experience. You become all these things because of what you experience. And it's not you. It's not you. You don't know how to deal with it. So here I am. I'm in Houston, and I told my brother, once I heard that they were hanged, I heard some bad news, and so much so to where I was like, you know what, I got to get out of town. I said, but okay, wait a minute, let me rewind. So I'm letting God, change me and transform me or whatever. And I'm starting to get the revelation of who Keetra is, and I'm starting to, I'm being reminded of his power. I'm being reminded that I have a voice. I'm being reminded that it was a church that I was going to. And I met a man down there. Okay, I met a man. Yes, I did. And so let me tell y'all, this is for y'all that be y'all get saved and then you kind of backslide. This gonna help you. Okay, so I met a man and called myself falling in lust with him. And I did. And I thought he was just the most bummest thing or whatever. He showed me a good time when I needed, because I had just divorced, and I called myself trying to celebrate my divorce or whatever. And there was something. Do y'all know that I even tried to smoke weed with my homeboy? It was so funny, and I thought it was burning my throat. Let me tell you, when you got a calling on your life, I thought it was burning my throat so much so I had to Sakana, and I stopped because I thought it was burning my vocal cords away and I wasn't going to be able to sing for the Lord no more. So I made a conscious decision that I was not going to be smoking weed. And all we did was laugh, but I thank God that didn't stick with me. And so praise him. But anyway, I'm in Houston and I'm going to this church and I'm on the praise team, people. I'm on the praise team. I'm letting the Lord, just use me in this capacity. But I got this little friend, and we vibing and everything. But not once did anything that I done in error, I would stay on my knees. I would ask God to forgive me. I'm steady repenting. I'm steady asking the Lord, okay, Lord, I know that what I went through in my life and da 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 da. I need you to help me. I don't want to. If this man ain't my husband, I ain't got no business sleeping with him. You need to some way somehow just kind of remove him or whatever. But do you know that God didn't budge? God didn't budge. That man was still there. He sure was. And he was still, him and I were just still lusting on each other. I liked him. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was love, but I have to use the word lust because that's what it was. Because one thing I found out about lust you can endeavor in that, and lust it's never satisfied. You just want more and more and more and more and more. So you can lust over food, over ice cream, over soda, over drugs. It's a lustful demon, and it's never satisfied. It just wants more attention, more time, more this, more that. And I was never satisfied with this man, because he never gave me the attention that I thought I needed. And I wanted more and more and more, and I stayed because I thought it was coming, and it looked like it was coming, but it wasn't. So don't that sound familiar? So all that stuff tried to creep back up, the stuff that I buried. But I'm glad that I stayed in church and I was on a praise team and I was letting the Lord deal with me, and I'm asking God, Lord, forgive me because I really want to be loved. And why do I want to be loved so much? Why do I want to go through this? And I don't understand. And just give me my kids back. Just if you can just show me that you're here, just restore me. Maybe that'll work. And so I'm giving God all these options. Hello, let's make a deal with the Lord. Who am I? Anyway, start making a deal with the Lord. And I told the Lord, just restore me. And I called my brother. I knew my brother was going to come to my aid. I told my brother, I don't feel safe down here. I don't even have no man that's going to protect me, let alone do I have a gun. So my brother came like a thief in the night and said, I ain't moving until we pack up this whole apartment and then we gone. So we left Houston. I ended up getting my children first. God was able to give me my babies back. I left Houston, and when I came back with my brother, I moved in with a girlfriend of mine from years ago, and she let my children and I in her home. And little did I know we were in military camp. We were on the military base. Oh my gosh. And going from one thing to another. And anyway, we had to be to bed. We had to be to bed at 9 o'clock. She did not want to hear our footsteps in the. It was crazy. I mean, oh my gosh. But anyway, I was like, oh Lord, but I dealt with it because I just left a place of where I just discovered most of myself, and here I am. I'm back where I started. So I prayed and I told God. I said, Lord, I'm gonna let you do it. I give up. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm tired of people doing me this way. I'm tired of them hurting me. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I'm trying to put my heart out here. I'm trying to give my all. And these people, am I living according to other people's decisions and their perspectives? their perspection, their perceptives of me is what I want to know. Maybe I'm living to what everybody else think that I should live like. Maybe I'm doing what everybody else wants me to do for them. So how about I just start over and say, okay, God, you know what? You do it. So I let God do it. I came back with my kids. We're homeless now. So now I get to add to the childhood trauma and all of those stuff. Now we're homeless. Now I'm homeless with my kids. Had to sleep in the car with my kids. We were on a $235 budget a week. Nobody knew this. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew it but God. And I go to this hotel and I tell them, I say, it's just me and my kids. I need this type of room. So I'm talking to the lady at the front desk, and she started getting all personal with me, and she started telling me I don't want to be this no more. I don't want to work here no more, and they need to find somebody. I said I'll work here. I said how much they pay. And I'm an accounting, so I'm used to making $20 an hour and plus. She said, "Oh, $9.50." I said, "Oh, I said, girl, for real? I can't do $9.50. Do they not know that it's year 2000? Hello." But to fast forward, I ended up filling out the application anyway. I got hired within that week on the spot. The man ended up giving me like a couple of quarters more. And at least I had a roof to put over my children's head, and they weren't. We weren't homeless anymore. But I went all the way from $9 and from $20, 22 an hour to $9.50. People, that's the low low. I watched God bring strangers off the freeway. They would leave money on the desk. They would say, and I was like, what is this for? They would tell me, hey, the Lord just told me to come in here and just bless you with $20. And they would walk out. These are truckers. And different people will come through the door and they lay all this money on. And I'm typing, getting ready to pull a computer up to set them up in the room. And they walking out the door. I'm like, ma'am, sir, madam, where are you going? I'm sorry. I'm just doing what I'm, hey, just be blessed, ma'am. And I was like, wow, okay, that's the second time this week. That's the third time this week. Then it went from 20 to 50 to 100 to thousands of dollars. God began to restore me right where I was because I told him, I said, I need you to love me. I need you to show me what true love is like. Please let me know that my life is valuable. Please let me know that you're not judging me according to everything that I've done. Please let me know, God, that you are here with me and these kids. Please let me know. And I mean, he did. God let me know. He let me know. And once my room had got so crowded with all these gifts and all of this stuff that these people done gave us, clothes and money and gift cards, and we get 10 meals that we can go for free. We can eat for free, and we going to restaurants eating for free, and I'm like, oh my God. And they just handing me money like you know how the ushers do when they put the money off in your hand, and then you know the old ladies just slip you a little something something. Yeah, that's what was happening to me in that moment. And God began to restore, blew my mind. God did it. He did it all. So I said, okay, all of this that I've ever been through and that I've ever experienced, I'm going to give it to God. I'm going to give it back to you so I can give it to others. This is my testimony Tuesday. This is my testimony Tuesday. And I wanted to share these stories because they are me. And even still, you're going to have to get a book because I'm writing a book about all of this. The book is deeper because the book gives you more detail. The book is a little bit more, what can I say, censored. The book has no limits, okay? I'm like, if the world can tell y'all and show y'all everything else out there, then I'm going to tell you on the Lord's side what I experienced and how I got over it. And I'm going to tell you my testimony. But get the book. It'll be called Help or Hush too. But anyway, and I'm finishing up that book. And I came up with that name because in those moments, I needed help. But on the flip side, it was like, hush. if you don't want to help me. Don't add to or don't take away to what I'm already going through. Just help or hush while I heal. That's my testimony. I went through all of that and then some for me to be here in front of a place that I never knew would exist, in front of an audience, and on a TV platform to share a story about my life that can help someone, to let you know that Jesus, the Lord, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Hamashiach, y'all can call him Yahuwah, God the Father, Yahweh, he exists. Wherever you are in your life, whether it be financial dilemma, whether it be in a relationship, it's child molestation, it's betrayal, it's men cheating, women cheating, all the darkness that you can put on, if it's a habit that you have, pornography, if it's molestation, whatever you've done or it has been done to you, please know that the God that you've been hearing about, that the Lord Jesus Christ that you have been hearing about is real. He will sustain you. He will reward you. He will restore you. His spirit will come and comfort you. I'm telling you, don't focus on the sin. You can be humping all the day you want to. But as long as his grace abounds and you have a heart to return to him, the closer you get to him, you don't have to worry about the sin, because you're going to fall in love with him and you're not going to want to do those things no more. He says, with me, in me, you are a new creature. All things are passed away, but how all things become new. I'm a new person to this day. I have a new smile to this day. I have a new beauty to this day. I have a new voice to this day, because I'm a new creature in him. I didn't let my old stuff determine who I was going to be. I didn't let my old past and everything that everybody had done to me and everything that I'd done to them and the retaliation and not understanding and woo woo woo. I didn't let all of that stuff keep me bound. I didn't. I always forgave people. And it's like I just flushed it out. To this day, I love my mother more than ever. I love my father more than ever. My siblings. Nobody has done nothing to me that was so detrimental that took the identity out of my name. God has given me a new character, a new voice, a new look, and I am here to say I know a plethora of people that have, if not a similar testimony, but they got a word in which can help you. So no matter where you are in your life, please don't think that God cannot restore you. Because even in the midst of my sin, he didn't condemn me. God didn't condemn me. He still said, come here, let me spend some time with you. And one thing I know about people always like to be chosen. You can say what you want to say. Women, when that man say, girl, I want you. If a woman says to her man, I want you. If God says, and what he is saying, I want you, you can't tell me y'all not going to respond to it. Some of us have rejected the voice of God. But on the flip side, when it comes to a man and woman, whenever those three words, I want you, something inside of us say, oh, you do? Some of us run from it because we don't understand that all this stuff that we buried, that we have not yet funeralized, it's affecting our character, and we're holding our own selves back from freedom. I told y'all earlier that the number 5 meant freedom. It meant change. It's a symbol of balance. It's God's grace. And so I'm going to say this before I get out of here. I'm going to say this much. All of the child trauma that you experience and you're going through your life's time, all those things that you pick up that you weren't supposed to pick up, that's connected to you now, I would encourage you all to get rid of it. Try to address it. I became a certified belief therapist because I knew that I'm going to have a license. I'm going to have to talk to some people. There are going to be people that need my help because of what I've been through. Married to a spouse, and of course infidelity crept in. you know, and different things crept in, and I experienced hurt all over again. Get into another relationship, thinking it's going good, and I experienced hurt all over again because I didn't think he was giving me enough attention. And really deep down inside, I wasn't fulfilled. Once I got closer to God and I started making the steps, I started realizing that I'm not going to let my sin condemn me. I'm not going to let my past condemn me, and things that I've done to people, I'm not going to let that keep me stuck. One thing that I do know, everybody that's saying out there, y'all keep on saying, oh, I got to get myself together first. I got to, I know I got to come to God correct. Why would you put on the finest linen? It's like you trying to say, let me clean myself up. Let me get myself together before I present myself to God. That's like you going to go get the finest suit. I mean, that has the best value. You put this suave, this fine dress on, this fine garment on a stinky, filthy body. You cleaning yourself up trying to go to the Father. He's the one that can wash you. You put on this linen and you try to get yourself together in some fine, clean clothes just to go be washed, to get your own self washed, to come back to put on the same clothes that you had on that you just made dirty, and to say that you washed all. I can't even finish it because it don't make sense. You get what I'm saying? That's like me going to put on my skin just stinking, and I'm just giving all kind of, just all this filth coming off of me and all this funk coming off of me, and I go put on a clean dress and say I'm going to church to go get cleaned up or whatever. But, I ain't trying to change. I'm not trying to clean my inner parts, but I got to put myself together. I'm going, people, don't try to wash yourself. Don't try to clean yourself up. Go to God just as you are. Filthy, dirty, full of darkness, full of whatever you are. Just tell him, listen, this is who I've become. I've attached myself to this world. I've attached myself to these things. This is what I've done. And I need you to come meet me halfway. Show me that you are God and restore me. And trust me when I tell you, he will restore you. We have a new thing going on, kingdom building. I'm a living witness, y'all. I'm a living witness. He did it for my brother. My brother was an ex-gangster. He's not no more. I've seen people be healed from cancer, and you can see it on their x-rays. And because they trusted God, it goes away. I mean, come on, people. Call on him. Please. Call on him, because there's going to come a day. Y'all know this world is already dark, and most of y'all getting sucked into it's like a dark vacuum. You getting sucked, but baby, when I tell you, you can get sucked in all you want to, but there comes a point where it all has to empty. Everything has to be emptied out. So while you're being sucked in, please don't find yourself stuck. Don't find yourself stuck in a position that when he does come to get his people, that you won't be so dark that he can't recognize you. He said he's coming back for his children. He's coming back for his bride without a spot or a wrinkle. I want him to say, I want you. I know you. You get what I'm saying? So my message, and this is my testimony, that out of everything that I've been through, I didn't let it define me. I want to tell the world about all of that trauma that brought me here. It brought me to a place where I know that I could help someone. I could help somebody. And if I can't help you, then I could connect you to someone who can. My expertise in being a life coach counselor is what they call it. One who's been married to the same man twice. He want to come back. Every man that I probably done dealt with just want to come back. That's because God built a character in me. God did a new thing. I know how to talk to a man. I know how to talk to women. I know how to relate to people because I know what I had to deal with. And now I know how I want to be treated. And because of the love of Christ that's within me, I'm able to share my story. There are so many other people that are waiting to share their story too. They might not get as much time as I did, but I'm going to be able to just tell you that they're going to come here on this platform and they're going to share their story. And I want y'all to know that's the reason why if you have a voice and you want it to be heard, I'm going to bring you in. If I have the connection, I'm going to get you connected and I'm going to try to help as much as I can. Other than that, I'm going to hush if I can't help you. I'm going to hush and I'm going to try my best to wherever you are. I can pray for you if I can't give you no money or whatever the case may be. But people, just please know that there is a living God and he can do anything but fail. Trust me when I tell you, I am restored, got the own house, got a car. He gave me back everything and then some. He never fails me. And if you would do the same thing that I did, which is something that's so simple, just go spend time with him. 5 minutes. Just say, Lord, I don't even know what to say. But I'm here. Can you meet me? And get up. And then go back. Because he says if you draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. That's like any relationship. If you call me, I'm going to call you back. If you text me, I'm going to text you back too. If you want to be with me, I'm more than likely I'm going to want to be with you. You give me some love, I'm going to show you some love too. Relationship. It's called building a relationship. And so, I feel so free. I hope I help somebody. But anyway, I have a website, helpahush.com. And there you can post your questions and your comments or just tell me whatever you want to tell me. If you need help, I'm rendering as much as I can. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. But if you can't get in touch with me there, you can't reach out to me there, call into the network. Reach out into the network. We have a website, www.eefinetworks@gmail.com. You can send your comments and your emails there, and they will get it to me. I'm transparent, so it doesn't matter. They will make sure that they get it to me without it being unread. But if they see my name on it, then that's just what that is. But I hope that I was able to give such a message to help someone, to let you know that God loves you right where you are. If you would open your mouth and you would ask someone for help, if you would just say, hey, I don't know how this is going to go, but I need some help. I would encourage you, don't hush about it, especially if you want to be free. I feel so free, even right now, by telling y'all all of that stuff. It's still more to it though. I could go on and on, but I'm not. But I just want y'all to know that that's my story. That's my testimony. God has restored me. I have 2 graduated virgins, and these girls are bad than a mug. And I got a son and a daughter still growing, A and B students. God is faithful. If you would just give it all to him. And that's what I did. I gave it all to him. I gave everything to him. My mother taught me how to pray. She was the perfect example with that much. And she kept me balanced in church. If there is a church that you can't go to, reach out to somebody that you can trust. Email somebody. Or just get on your knees and just say, Lord, send me the help. I don't know where the church is. Or I don't know who the people are. But God will do. If you even ask God for a place for you and him to spend time together, you best believe God is going to open the door. Why would he not? You say you're going to spend time with me? If my man told me, girl, I'm going to buy you a house so you can come dwell with me, and we married, why am I not going to go in the house and get all of the benefits of the home? That's the same thing Christ is saying to you. I have a place that you and I can dwell. Just ask me to come in and I'll knock. Or are you going to answer the door so that it can be open? So, anyway, I have other testimonies that are going to come forth from different people. I wanted to jumpstart mine off because I think that I went through a plethora of things for everyone throughout my life so that people can get to know me more, get to know your host, and however this may go out there, I'll accept it just the way it is. I'm not in denial about nothing that has happened ever in my life, but I am grateful that I have overcome these things and that I'm not what I was, how I was attacked, and what was meant for me. Okay? So when my book comes out, please know it's coming soon to a bookcase near you. Or maybe Amazon.com or whatever, that Audible Books or something. I'm going to give y'all all the information. I will definitely. I hear your comments. I see your comments. Yes, you will get a copy of the book. Y'all, I'm talking from suicidal thoughts. Did I try to commit suicide? I think I did. I think I tried to. But, of course, that wasn't successful. But thank God that he kind of took the memory from me. But, yeah. But your girl done been through some stuff. And I'm glad that I'm past it. I'm at a place to where I love y'all. I love people. I got something to say. I got a story. And it's juicy and it's good. Okay? And God has given me a voice that people will listen to you. That people will listen to. So don't cry for me. I bless God. I celebrate and I praise God that I'm not where I could have been. I'm not where I was. But this is where I'm going. Okay? And I'm going to a higher and higher and higher and higher height with his name attached to mine. So, I know I have love for most of y'all. Most of y'all, I don't know. I can't say because I don't play with the word love. But there is love in my heart developing too for all of you all. I want to thank y'all for being supportive. Thank you for being my viewers. I'm going to go through each and every episode and go find the very one person that has watched, because I got a giveaway that's coming soon. And I want to appreciate this individual, not my broadcast, not the, no, y'all can't have that. No, y'all always see me, but I'm talking about the person that has been here from day one, that has tuned in, liked everything, shared everything, that has been an audience to me. I want to recognize that person because I love the people, even my best friend, my brother, my mother. I got some good people in my life that I love so much. I love them so much. Going to be still giving giveaways, and we're going to bring in some more people that have testimonies to share with you all, from drug addiction, from alcoholism, from sexual immorality, all of that stuff. So please, y'all, stay tuned for the month of June. Oh yeah, I like that. Stay tuned for the month of June because we're going to have it going on with Testimony Tuesday right here with Women Around the Table Talk. Thank y'all for spending time with me. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for showing me love in Facebook world, EEFI world, YouTube world, Instagram world. This is your girl Kiki, and I'm closing out. Y'all stay tuned because I got some good stuff for y'all. So thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for hanging with me. I appreciate your time. Until next time, get your testimony together because you may be. See y'all later. Bye.
Kiki White and EFI Networks, thank you for watching the Women Around Table Talk. We hope that you have enjoyed. We would like to thank all of our special guests. Kiki White and EFI Networks look forward to you joining the Women Around the Table Talk every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Kiki White look forward to hearing from you. Please go to EFInetwork.com for comments. You may call 832-408-8404, 346-493. 2630 or 832-391-0157. All copyrights belong to EFI Networks.